I'm 19 years old, and if you're around my age, you've probably played a fair amount of World War II themed shooters. I know I've played well over 15 World War II themed shooters throughout the last couple of years, and though they aren't recent, they still count. It's World War II games, they can only cover so much. So, in honor of Call of Duty World War II, I thought it'd be fun to go through some of my shooters and play around with the World War II guns that were snuck into other games. Sounds a little dramatic saying snuck into, but really these guns are just kind of a fun, almost not a gimmick, not an Easter egg, just a little bonus I guess to your loadout. Tons of games do this one way or another, primarily the two big shooters Call of Duty and Battlefield. But as you can tell by the gameplay, we're looking at Call of Duty 4, or Modern Warfare Remastered, and we're looking at the MP44 assault rifle. Now don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that Call of Duty 4 uses the same engine as Call of Duty 2. So I'm pretty sure the MP44 was left over from Call of Duty 2, which was a World War II themed shooter. You might think that it came over from Call of Duty 3 because that was more recent up to Call of Duty 4, but no, that used a different engine actually, so I don't think that would have crossed over. But who really knows or really cares why it's there? It's just obvious that it's Call of Duty paying homage to its World War II games in its first ever modern day shooter. This weapon was designed in 1942, and although there's probably some gun nuts out there that could point to a more obscure weapon, this gun is pretty much accepted as the first ever combat-ready assault rifle. The STG, or the MP44, later became, not directly, but later became the AK-47. The STG really paved the way for the AK platform from everything I've read, everything I've been taught, and everything I can see here on the internet in front of me. If you're a crazy gun nut that knows about some obscure things that most people don't know about, please leave them in the comments section. I love facts like that. Our history and everything is full of misconceptions, and those being broken makes me happy. But we are on the search for the worst gun in shooter history, so why is this on the trail to it? Well, this is far from one of the worst guns in shooter history. It's fairly competent, but by far, it is one of the worst guns in Call of Duty. It is definitely top 3 of the worst guns in COD 4, and for fucking sure, it is the worst assault rifle in Call of Duty 4. So no matter what, come on, it's the worst at something, right? It's worth being on this fucking trail through World War II guns hidden away in modern games. Anyway, so basically, this gun is almost a copy of the AK-47 in terms of its range and damage. Now, there are some charts that I read that said it had less range or that it had more damage, but I found 3 different charts with 3 different fucking answers, so those aren't really relevant. Whatever you guys can find, let me know. Oh, and 2 things you guys need to know. I'm playing against bots because I don't have this gun unlocked online, and also I'm not using anything that affects the gun's damage or accuracy. So this is literally me using UAV jammer and marathon. The gun is unaffected. But the consistencies throughout all the charts, and basically pointing to be the fact, is that the MP44 is literally the AK-47 with a slower fire rate, and less accuracy, and a slower reload time. You won't probably tell the difference in the reload time, but can you imagine being handed 2 guns, and one fires faster and is more accurate, so dealing, more damage per second with more accuracy, versus a gun that fires slower and kicks a lot more. Not just kicking straight up and down, side to side, and vibrating violently. And also, did I mention that this weapon has no attachment options? No red dot sight, no ACOG sight, no suppressor, no grenade launcher. You cannot put shit on this gun. Which in my opinion is kind of a miss. I feel like they should have made a custom sight or a custom attachment for it, or like a foregrip or something. I don't know. But what I do know is that this gun might not be one of the worst guns in shooter history, but it's definitely the most irrelevant when it comes to the context of this game and the context of World War II guns snuck into modern day shooters. Now, killing bots isn't too much of a chore, especially since there's no connection problem and bots are always going to be dumber than real people. So even though this was my first game and I was a little bit dumb with my aim, I just needed to hop on and record and get off, So my aim isn't good and my kill time could be better, and obviously if this was a better player that had warmed up, it would be way better gameplay. I apologize, I'm only human. But the thing about Call of Duty, when I'm playing against bots, to get like the easiest form of testing, because like you'll know a gun is really bad when it's not a specialty weapon, and killing recruit or regular bots is actually difficult. It wasn't too hard even for my shaky hands, but it just felt like any other gun in the game, especially in the assault rifle category, would have been better. The stats say that, my feelings say that, and it just makes me wonder, couldn't they have added this gun as a really good incentive to get to max prestige? Like, this gun could have been way better, you know, tone down the recoil on it or up the damage on it. And with stopping power, it's a lot more competent of a weapon, but judging the weapon just by itself compared to the other weapons by themselves doesn't really compare. Now, with stopping power, yes, you can two-shot people, which is good. But you can do the same thing with the AK, which doesn't take as long to unlock, has cleaner sights, and the ability to add attachments. You can have an AK-47 with a suppressor that's capable of getting a two-shot kill. Also, the M16 with stopping power is in this game, so I don't know why you would use the STG, or sorry, the MP44. But like with everything, I am fucking positive that somebody is gonna comment, "This is one of my best guns. When I used to play COD 4, I was amazing with this gun. And trust me, when I private matched my buddies with it the other night, I did pretty well with it." Like, it is a usable weapon, but it's irrelevant. It's kind of like the DMR I covered with Battlefield 4. Statistically, nothing is horrible about it. It just feels dwarfed by other weapons that are easier to use and more versatile. So I would love to hear what you guys think about the MP44. I personally find the gun really fun to use. It's just unfortunate that it's irrelevant. So again, leave me feedback. So we just covered the MP44. In the next episode, we're going to a franchise that I'm going to need at least a week to warm up to because I haven't been playing it recently. Most of you guys already know what that means. So I'm going to try my darndest over there. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like the weapon, I already said that. Sorry, my whole thing with Shooter Saturday, no, this isn't even Shooter Saturday, Ian. Okay, my whole thing with worst gun in shooter history has kind of been turned on its head, and making more professional content really isn't my thing, so I hope you guys just found this entertaining at least. Share this with your friends and your grandmothers, and I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye. Why are you still watching to this point? I've been blabbering for like way too fucking long.